Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. It's the beginning of a week, beginning of new chances, beginning of new opportunities. Um, I hope you make this day yours, okay, or at least some part of it yours. All right, so my name's Holly. I'm a psychic medium. Welcome to the channel. I am an energy reader, and I use Oracle and Tarot decks as a jumping off point and just sort of intuit my way through them and listen to spirit for guidance. Always, and that's a big message, always listen to spirit for guidance. You always are surrounded by your guides and guardians. And if this week feels overwhelming for a portion of the collective, understand that you can do this, one. You can get through this, two. And three, ask your guides and guardians to step ahead of you, walk with you, guide you in your words, thoughts, and deeds. And I'm getting that it's also important to be aware of what's around you. Be aware of, for some of you, it will be your literal surroundings. For some of you, it will be just be aware of other people. Some want the best for you, some not so much. So just be aware of where you are, okay? And kind of take a step back and be the observer before speaking, before acting. And I think that's going to help considerably. So, have a lovely cup of coffee this morning. I've already had a ton of water and my vitamins and la 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 la. And this is, I think, one of my favorite mugs. Iridescent. I always think of this. I did use my mermaid mug that a lovely human being gave me, but I was going to use that today because I just still feel so drawn to this watery, oceanic energy, and I always think of this as the sand and the sea. So anyway, the expansiveness of it is what I'm feeling. There's so much more than our own little bubble of reality. I think once we realize that, the whole world then opens up to us. Sometimes it's hard, though, because we're so entrenched in where we are. Okay, so all that needed to come up, I guess. I didn't know that was going to come up. All right, so to start out beforehand, I did go ahead and use the Spirit Animal Pocket Oracle. And so I wanted to get a few animal ally cards. And 5 of them came up. As a matter of fact, I did the Crystal Connections cards by Adam Barrowley too. 5 animal ally cards came up and 5 crystal cards came up. So I think that's interesting, which together is a 10, distill it down to 1. We are at the beginning of a new cycle. We are beginning something new. Okay, we are going into a new time frame. We are going into a new, I'm hearing the word existence. So for some of you, it will even be a new existence. And very often the hard part of that is for there to be a new beginning. Usually there's got to be an ending of some sort. So please be gentle with yourself. And that was the first card. So what came up was deer, coyote. Well, this one went flying. I guess we need to really pay attention to this one. Elephant, horse, and then badger. I am not reading what's on the card. I am completely, as they came out, got the message. It is, again, incredibly important. It's a pivotal part of wellness, particularly today, and I think for the first half of this week at least. I think by Wednesday the energy is going to shift a little bit, but be gentle with yourself. There are tricksters out there who may not always have your best interest at heart. Just because someone smiles at you, don't assume that they're nice. Focus on the people that you do know care about you, that you do know are nice. Elephant. Surround yourself with community. They're showing me the picture or the image of all the elephant mothers who surround a calf when there's a threat or danger. Surround yourself with the community that you know you can count on, because there are enough tricksters out there who well, just what sounds like a trickster. But you always have free will. And this is a general reading, by the way. It's a general reading. You have free will. You are the pilot of your plane, captain of your ship. Do not do something just because someone tells you to do it. That's the message of Horse. You gallop and you run the way you know how to in all your glory. Don't you worry about what anybody tells you to do. And then also, and that doesn't mean run away. I mean just for the joy of and the freedom of it. And then Badger. That's a cute little animal, but it is ferocious. Make no mistake. So you can be as gentle as a deer, but even they've got some pretty amazing, they can leap and jump, and it's amazing how much power they have. But you are ferocious. You don't have to apologize for who you are. You don't have to apologize for what you know. You don't have to apologize for, you're not intentionally trying to hurt anybody. So if other people are so insecure that they can't stand it, or they don't like you, and they don't even know you, that's all about them. Just remember that. It's all about them. You just step back, go on about your life. All right. So then with the Crystal Connection cards, I thought it was really interesting how things came out. And it kind of came out, and this is the order, basically. It was like 2, 1, and 2. And it's a lot of self-love and grounding and dealing with emotional baggage. So the first one that came out was Ruby. Ruby is a corundum, and it doesn't have to be a gem grade. It could be a rough corundum ruby, and there's all different kinds even in that spectrum. There are record keeper rubies that have the naturally forming little triangles that stand up and are part of the stone. Some of them are like 6-sided or 8-sided, or naturally forming octagonal stones. They're just, I'm pretty sure it's 8 instead of 6. Anyway, but and then some of them are big, just hunks of it, and they're gorgeous. Ruby fluoresces. It has an internal glow when you put it on when you put a black light on it. It is an absolutely mesmerizing stone in any form it comes in. But it's also a grounding stone. It's a heart grounding stone. It is an acceptance of self and change stone, and that's what I'm just getting. Along with that, if that's really hard to come by or you don't resonate with it, garnet. Garnet comes in all kinds of colors. It's amazing how many colors garnet will come in. But this one shows sort of that deep red, almost with a hint of purple kind of garnet. And it's a very rough form. It's not a gem form either. And it's sort of the raw garnet. That is also an emotional healing stone. When I hold garnet, it forces me to deal with unresolved emotions, but yet it is an incredibly protective stone. So these two stones are about healing emotional wellness, coming into grips with who you are as an emotional being. What is the truth? And what I'm hearing is, what is the truth of your heart? So this week, this is setting a tone. These are setting the tone for pretty much the week, or at least through Wednesday or to Wednesday. Tiger's Eye came up. Tiger's Eye is an incredibly protective stone, and it also comes in a variation of colors. Some are dyed to get those colors, like green. I don't think there's a natural green Tiger's Eye, but they do come in more yellow, more red, but most people know this kind of amber brown color. And it has a chatoyancy that is amazing. Tiger's Eye is 100%. It's like your protection team in the stone world, in the crystal world, okay? So, and it's also very grounding. So look at your emotions, ground, know you are protected. And if you have a piece, or even if you don't have a piece of any of these stones, look at the image, meditate on it, and hold it close to you, okay? That works too. Or just call on your protection team. Now, these next two are interesting because One is moldavite, and moldavite is getting hard to come by, and it's gotten so expensive. But it is a single source and stone, and it is volcanic glass, basically. Not volcanic, meteoric glass, because it's when a meteor hit what hit the earth and fused and has little bits of earth in it. But it is true. It has an intense. It really does have an intense vibration. This is to remember that you are more, to be grounded and deal with your emotions, but remember you're more than the here and now. You are the stuff of stars. Okay? You are made of stardust. And then moss agate came out with it. Moss agate is just a fascinating stone. It looks like there's ribbons of moss running through the matrix of the host stone, but it really isn't. But that's what it looks like. That's why it's called moss agate. It's actually a mineral. And but it's a very grounding and healing and nurturing earthy stone. But these two together, it's to remind you, it's like keep your feet on the ground and your head in the clouds kind of thing, keeps you balanced. But there is a message. There is a message, and it comes back to who you are. So you are a divine being, but you are living on this planet right now. So absorb and allow the best of both worlds. You don't have to be constantly aligned with the struggle and the strife of trying to survive, but you also don't want to be so lofty and in your head that you don't enjoy the beauty of the world around you right now. Okay? All right. So let's, I was going to get straight to tarot, but I'm getting drawn over here. Angels and Auras cards. We need to get a card for the collective to set the tone. I feel like today's reading is about setting a tone. Okay, it's going to set the tone for the next few days. I feel like Wednesday is when it shifts. So for the Wednesday read, there's going to be a shift, I think. But, okay, leave it there. They said, oh, look at this. Again, it's sort of like that badger and horse card. That's what it reminds me of. It's called Don't Compromise, and it's a heart with wings. How beautiful is that? That is gorgeous. A heart with wings. Don't compromise. Boundaries. It's okay to set boundaries. Assertiveness, courage, and unwavering. You don't have to change who you are. If you are doing everything you can to be a good person, to not hurt others, to do what you need to do, you're not trying to live off others, you're not trying to take advantage of anyone, it's different than the people who are con artists. Yeah, they need to shape it up. But don't compromise when you're just living in your truth, when you're just standing in your truth, okay? So you've got a big heart and you are surrounded by the divine. You have divinity around you. Tap into that. It's something about definitely not sacrificing I'm hearing morals. So don't sacrifice what you believe in to fit in or to go along with the crowd. You know what's true for you. All right, so no, not those, this. Okay, I was really pulled to this tarot deck today. The Unfolding Path. And let's see. Yeah, this feels right. This is the one I'm supposed to use right now. What is going on with the collective today? What is going on with the collective today, Monday? And I feel like this is going to carry us into and through Tuesday. So what is going on with the collective today through tomorrow? And I'll be here with the reading again. That was Mr. Denny sneezing. He's actually sitting in the chair across from me. I'm Mr. Denny Bobenny. I think he just woke up. I think I just woke him up. He's already been up and had a little snack. What is the message for the collective? What is the message for the collective Monday through Tuesday? Oh, okay. What is this card? Nine of Swords. Yeah, sometimes there have to be endings for new beginnings to start. So it's going to be okay. And the King of Pentacles or the King of Coins. So if some of you are looking at, I feel like that's actually about a job. In that instance, I feel like that's about a job or a career path change. So it's okay to expect more and start something new. And if some of you, it might be, I feel like some of you, it's incredibly scary because you are starting an entirely new career path. Not just a new job, but a new career path. Or you're getting ready to. You're getting ready to get news of it. That's pretty darn scary to do, especially the older you get. I know. But have faith in yourself, and if everything is aligning, here's the way I've always looked at it, and the way I've described it. If you are walking down a road and the path is completely clear, there are no boulders in the road, there's not any uneven gravel, it's a beautiful path and it's easy to walk, you're probably on the right road. Now, that doesn't mean taking the path of least resistance is always the right one and you're supposed to do. But if you are walking down a road and you are just determined you're just going to make that road happen, and a mountain shows up in the middle of your path, or a swamp, or it's kind of like the movie The Princess Bride, when they go through the forest of, I forgot what it's called, the Forest of Doom or something, and it's like every turn there's something trying to attack them. The giant rodents, the swamp, the fire, whatever. It's like you just got to get out of it. Sometimes that means it's not the right path. So when you look to the right or the left and all of a sudden you see this glowing light coming from a very smooth, beautiful road, sometimes you need to take a shift of direction. Now, some people come in and they take on the hard cases. And so you might have a few pebbles along the way, but there's always going to be someone, usually a guardian or guide, to stop and offer you water, to offer you respite, to offer you help, to build a bridge over that obstacle so it makes it easier for you to walk the path. Visualize the path you're on as though it were a literal path. What does it look like? I hope that makes sense. All right. So one more time, and then let's get into the tarot. So this is, I don't know if this is going to be connected or if this is going to be a different message, but what is the message? What is the overarching dominant energy for the collective? What are the messages for the collective for today, Monday, moving in through Tuesday? Guardians and guides, Mother and Father God, come into this reading. Our protection team. Okay, what have we got? Yeah, there's going to be movement. Yeah. All right. Hold on to your hats, everybody, but it's going to be good, and it's going to be fast, and it won't take long. The Tower, and then the Six of Swords. So she is leading that boat out into the water silently to go to a new destination. Now, I don't want it to sound like this is going to be difficult or that it's doom and gloom. It could just be that someone is finally deciding, yeah, I know what I want. It could be that simple. You finally decided, or someone else has decided, you know what? I know what I want, and I'm not going to settle for less. Or this is what's important to me. It could be something internal that's just that directed and pointed. Or maybe someone has been taking care or, pulling up the slack for someone else who needs to step it up. It's like, I'm just finished. No. Like a piece of meat, I'm done. So, you know what? That's coming into your own authority and coming into your own freedom. You're being the horse spirit at that point. You can't run for someone else. You can't walk for someone else. So this tower and this movement card feels not like doom and gloom necessarily, but it feels like healing. And change is hard. Even positive change is hard sometimes because it can be a little scary. But this feels like it's going to be very healing, very therapeutic, and this is very directed and very pointed and this person is very cognizant of what they're doing. That's what I feel like with that card. All right, what else? Do I need these? Yeah, I guess I do. All right, they just were staring at me weird. Okay, I didn't know what they were because they were still face down. Anything else? They said leave it there for now. Okay, so I do feel like these last two cards that you haven't seen yet, I think are confirmation this is a positive change because you have got, well, I don't even know which order they came out, but it doesn't matter because they're both fantastic cards. One is the Sun, which I've heard over and over and over since I was in my 20s, called the best card in the deck. And then this card, it's the Ten of Coins. This is about family, wellness. This is about prosperity. This is about the family unit. I always visualize the tree of life with this card. Firmly rooted, kind of like that moss agate and the moldavite, the above and the below, and connected to the divine, but you got your feet on the ground, taking care of business, taking care of the ones you love, creating for someone, and this is what I'm hearing, creating the family you want. You get to decide that. And the Sun, everything shines brightly in the sun. You can't hide anything when the sun is shining. You cannot hide. Okay? I'm also hearing all secrets are revealed, all is made known, and all is well. It is okay. It is okay for you to shine brightly. It is okay for you to be who you are. I just pulled it up from the middle. This is for a different or an element of the collective, not for everybody with this reading, but some of you are going to be making decisions. This is the Two of Coins. So you might feel like you're juggling a situation, but the juggling is about to stop. Okay? The juggling is about to stop because once you put your foot down and you just say, enough, I've made a decision and I'm going to stand in my truth and stand in that decision. When you do that, and this is the one that I picked it up and I just heard no, so I let it drop until and then I heard yes, and I couldn't see what the card was. But that's when the Ace of Swords comes up, and there's a crown on top of the sword and flowers. So it's gentle knowledge. It's commanding knowledge. It is coming into the truth from a place of wisdom and heartfelt knowing of who you are, what you want, and what you will take in your life, and what you won't. Everything else, any little petty behaviors are going to fall by the wayside. So everything feels like it's connected and tied together. From those animal cards, animal allies, to the stones, it's sort of like prepare yourself emotionally and physically, get ready. Things are going to progress in a way that will make your life feel more connected and grounded while bringing you a great deal of spiritual and emotional satisfaction too. And here's another thing that they're wanting me to talk about. Emotions are very often our connection and calling card of where we are spiritually within ourselves and our own practices. When we are sad or angry or grieving, and all those are very different, they're different variations on a similar emotion, but your emotions can elevate you. There's Mr. Denny. Hi, baby. He's looking for a little patch of sunlight, I think. When looking for sunlight, aren't we all? So when your emotions are, think about how you feel when you're elevated with your emotions. You could take on anything. You have more energy. You feel healthier. You feel good. It is when we are in the throes and the pit of despair that sometimes we don't make the best decisions. So if you are in that place, avoid making any life-altering decisions until you are feeling more grounded and centered. Okay? Ask your teams to come in and help you get to that place. Decisions that are made, mainly I'm thinking out of sadness and grief, are often decisions that could potentially lead to more sadness and grief. Anger, it depends. It's kind of, this is tricky. So if you're in a negative situation and you're like, I've just had enough, and you make a snap decision and you do something, it could lead to more hardship in the immediate, but then take you somewhere positive. It's like you just found your fire. When you're in deep grief or sadness or self-esteem issues, you're not finding any fire. You're just drowning. So that's not the time to make life-altering decisions. Be gentle with yourself. Take care of yourself. And once you are able to start treading water and rising up out of the water, once you are able to find a safe haven and just sit, be, heal, reconnect with who you are and your own personal divinity, that's when you are in a place to say, okay, now what is it that I really want? That feels like very circular kind of, I feel like I was not linear at all in that. So I hope it makes sense for all of you. Whatever message in that is hits that little bell in your head, then, or dings that little bell in your head, then great. If none of it does, that's okay too. These are general readings, and I put them out about 6 out of 7 days a week. So they're not all going to hit, and it's going to be for different parts of the collective. So just realize that too. Okay. One last card from the Angels and Auras deck. And they want me to just open it up, hold it this way, and then they want me to open it up. Where? Oh, this is beautiful. Look at all these greens and swirls. Evolution. It's card 23. When you add it together, 5. Yet one more 5. And 5 is the energy of change often. Evolution. Allow your own personal energy and magic to swirl around you. And by magic, I mean manifestation and your connection to the divine. Empowerment, transformation, protected, and preparedness. She's wearing a bright crown on her head. Again, this feels like emotional healing that leads to physical healing. Okay, hear this. I'm going to say it again. Emotional healing that leads to physical healing, that leads to life changes, that promote the path that is the bright, well-lit, directed path to walk on to bring you peace and happiness and joy and a greater connection to the all that is. Okay. All right. I think that's it. We have a general idea for the energy and direction of this week, and it feels like there are going to be some changes, but they're going to be the very beginning baby steps of personal, evolutionary, and emotional healing. I do love a pig. I think they're smart and funny, especially a flying pig. A pig with wings, which I know that's not, but still, it just brings me so much joy. But they're showing me that thing about the pig with the lipstick. You can't put lipstick on a pig and think it's anything other than a pig, which they're cute enough. They don't need lipstick. But here's the thing, and they're smart. But anyway, all animals are smart. So without the internal work, without the emotional healing, it's just putting a gloss or a veneer on something in your life. You've got to dig deep in order to make real changes. I think that's the message. All right, everybody, I am sending you so much love. And when in doubt and when you're working through all this healing process, just remember, the soul is perfect. Your soul is perfect. Remember who you are and tap into that. Ask Spirit to help remind you of who you are. And when in doubt, call your hope back to yourself. I call my hope back to me. I call my hope back to me. I call my hope back to me. Okay? All right. Thank you. I love you. Be well.